Okay, good evening. This is Zen Honeycutt from Moms Across America. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight for our hangout about the international demonstration against GMOs and corporate control in Zurich, Switzerland. And I'm going to do a very quick recap today. I just have about 20 minutes to be with you. Sorry for being a few minutes late here. Had some technical difficulties. I want to thank Ann Temple. Ann, give us a wave, who's here with us tonight. And Beth Dalton from Virginia, and Jessica from California, and Nanette from Washington. So we really are all across America today, and our intention, our mission is to empower millions to educate themselves about GMOs and related pesticides, to get them labeled as a first step to elimination, and also to offer GMO-free and organic solutions. So we're very solutions-based because moms have enough problems. We want solutions. So I'm going to hop right into the pictures that I'm going to show you as I demonstrate. As I talk about the demonstration. I'm going to go here to. Wait a second. The international demonstration against GMOs and corporate control. And I'm just going to show you my. Here we go. Can everybody see that? I'm just showing you my Facebook folder. Okay, great. So I was invited to go to Zurich, Switzerland. This is my second time I was there. I went into Syngenta in May, and it was really great. They had this double-decker bus where we could talk. Now, this banner that I'm showing is 15 years old. They have been protesting, and they've had the same banner for 15 years. Now, why it's extraordinary that this was in Zurich, Switzerland, is because this is what it looks like in the majority of the area in Switzerland. It is an agricultural-based country. This is a view from my window from the farmhouse where I was staying, my host family. This was a valley with 10 different farms, and the little village down there that you saw the houses from before is where they have a cheese shop, and people gather and connect. They have a community orchard where every family has several trees in this community orchard, and they have ducks and geese and chickens and pigs and huge garden, and they go to the market and they sell their bread. This is the valley. This is their greenhouse, and I'm showing you all this. These are their organic beef cattle. They do not import GMOs. They do not cultivate GMOs, and they do not allow GMOs in the processed food, which is imported into Switzerland. So for those people who believe that Switzerland actually imports GMOs to feed their cattle, that's completely not true. So all of their cattle are completely, and their sheep and their goats and all of that are completely GMO free. And and here's a cute little bee house that they have. It's just a beautiful garden. This is the cheese shop. And I show this because, like, I can eat the bread there. I can eat the cheese there without feeling sick. And this is important. So I just want to go back on this for a second. I'll come back to this. So, and this is important because they're having this demonstration in Switzerland where they don't have to worry, a place where they don't have to worry about GMOs. So that would be like asking us in America to protest against, I don't know, some sort of alien from outer space, right? That's not bothering us right now. Like they don't consume GMOs on a daily basis. They're not impacted by them. They don't have the health issues that we do. So I think it's just really extraordinary that they had any type of event there in the first place. Now, the man, Ernst Hans, who invited me to go, who was my host and sponsor, actually is a pretty infamous activist there because he refused to vaccinate his cattle when he found out that his farmers' cattle were all dying. The calves and some of the cows were actually dying after a certain vaccine. It had a live virus in it, and it was making them sick, and it was making the situation worse. So he protested, and for the first time, all over the country, all different kinds of farmers came together. They gathered. They had a conference. People that normally were fighting with each other were actually, connecting and getting together. And so he's a pretty infamous activist, and he got them to stop vaccinating their animal, doing mandatory vaccination. This is the right here. This man I'm right next to is the man who made the movie Scientist Under Attack. So his name is Bertram. He's a pretty famous movie producer, and he was there and he filmed the whole demonstration. So here we are. We took a van into this plaza outside the area of Zurich, on the outskirts of Zurich, and this was before not everybody was there yet, but this is when they were getting together. So this is my view from, that was my view from where I spoke. It was on a double-decker bus. And this is Monica Kruger that came from Germany. She's the one who's found glyphosate in animals' urine and in their meat. And they even found it in organic cows that were fed organically. And we believe the reason why is because places like in New Zealand, they spray the grass fields with Roundup, and then they replant more grass seeds in it. So these animals that are being grass-fed can they can be consuming glyphosate. So that's very concerning. She was like the star scientist there, and she had a lot to say and was really fantastic. There were 20 tractors before our group, so that was phenomenal planning on behalf of ERTS, who got all these farmers to stop working for a day and come out and be in the demonstration with us. And here's the double-decker bus where I spoke on top of here. This is where everybody spoke on top, and it had fantastic music. And this is Nadia, who was the leader in Colorado. She was actually doing the Right to Know in Colorado. She lived there. She's from Switzerland. And she moved to Switzerland, and when she heard ERTS, who came to the Seeds of Doubt conference back in, whenever that was, October of last year, she heard his accent. She said, I have to speak to you. And she started speaking to him in Swiss German. She said, I'm moving to Switzerland, and I want to keep doing this. So can we, get together when I got to Switzerland? So she and ERTS were the ones that organized this whole event. So we really are moms across the world, because she was one of the major organizers for this. So I was so thrilled to see somebody else there with our Moms Across America buttons on. And I gave her a T-shirt, and she's got it on later on in the event. And this is a guy that I met with in Basel for the Syngenta. His group is called Multi-Watch, and they only focus on Syngenta because they're the largest pesticide producer in the world. So it's great to see him there. And here's some of the tractors heading out. And then we started moving. It was so fantastic. All these people picked up these huge banners, and the truck played all this like crazy fun music, which I did a little video on. I put a little video on. I'll play that later. Anyway, and you see this woman way up on top in the window? This guy down here with the hat on reached up and gave her a flyer. So they were giving out flyers to everybody and anybody that they could pass them out to. And if you'll notice this crowd, the majority were young people. It was really fantastic. The majority of them were in their 20s, and they are completely against these GMO potatoes. So the whole idea was to meet at this plaza on the outskirts of town, walk through Zurich, and go to another outskirts of town where there was a village, and walk to the potato field where they were doing a test plot of GMO potatoes, which is completely ridiculous because we have GMO potatoes growing here in the U.S. The people in Zurich are like, if you want to see what happens with a test plot, go to America. They're testing GMOs all over the place, right? We're not testing, we're growing them. So it's completely ridiculous that they need to have test plots anywhere. It's just a way for them to get GMOs, into the country. So if you guys could mute your somebody's rattling around. If you could mute your microphones, that'd be great. So there was on the double-decker bus. Here's people like swinging around these things, sort of juggling, and you can see the tractors up ahead in front of the bus. Here they are wearing potato sacks, and I think this means gross object, OGM. And there's Nadia in our T-shirt. And we're going through town, and then we went out to the potato fields. So we're walking through these potato fields. It was really fantastic. Look at that, with all the different tractors going through this small village, and it was so great. So many people going past a little duck pond and the cows, and going through the little town. And then there was this big field, and we were diagonally across from the potato field. Here's the tractors. They made like a U shape around the whole field. And I thought I had a picture of the potato field. Hang on a second. There's the bus where everybody spoke from again. We had more speakers, and I spoke last. These are the organizers. So Ert is the guy with the baseball hat, and Nadia's on his right and on my left, and then this guy's, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but a really, really sweet guy, and that's Nadia and her mom. The potato field was, these are the little bees that they gave out. They marched in a 4th of July parade in Colorado, and she gave out these little bees. She knitted them and gave them out to people. This was just the non-GMO cornfield that we were staying on. But the potato field, I'm sorry, I thought I uploaded a picture. The potato field was right behind us, and it had just had a fence around it, and it was ridiculous. It was, you know, it wasn't like, wasn't containing it in any way. Do you know what I mean? It was so that you can see it right here on the far left. There's just a little, like a chicken fence almost. You know what I mean? Just like a regular fence that you would have in the back of a school or something like that. It's not keeping any contamination in from anywhere. So it was completely ridiculous. And back at this field, we had all kinds of speakers. I got to speak last, and I spoke about how we're going to win. And I basically highlighted the things that were happening in the U.S. and around the world that were working, and that's how we were going to win. So that was really great to be able to bring in some really positive actions. The other speakers that were there spoke about bees. They spoke about patents. Life. They really hate it that they're patenting life, and I mean we all do, but they especially hate it. And they spoke about the seeds, different kinds of hybrids, how it is much easier actually to do hybrid seeds and have a greater yield, and all different kinds of speakers from Austria, Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland. Some really great speakers, and I'm going to post about that in the blog. This is just the type of food they eat. It is all non-GMO. It is essentially all organic. It was really fantastic. All the cheese. And see that bread there? I can eat that, and my kids could eat that. I brought it home. I brought home a loaf. My kids ate it last night. Usually they get cranky, irritable. One of them gets a rash all over his legs, and they wet their beds if they have wheat. And they didn't. None of them did last night. And they loved the bread. It was like heaven. It was amazing. And this is his cornfield that is non-GMO, and he does not spray Roundup. And his neighbor does spray Roundup before planting as a burn down, right, to get rid of the weeds. And his neighbor's corn is almost half the size, and the roots are half the size. And his neighbor planted his corn 3 weeks earlier. So this is just an example of what can be done. And all he does is he goes through and he has a machine that sort of digs up in between the corn, you know, when it's low, when it's small. And so he doesn't have to dig up. He doesn't have to spray anything at all. And he also showed up. I just said he didn't upload a picture. He also showed that there's a weed that grows near the corn, which actually attracts the beetles to eat that kind of weed instead of eating his corn. So he says what's ridiculous is the other farmers spray Roundup on those weeds to get rid of them, and then they're surprised when those bugs actually go to the corn and eat their corn. So it's a really good thing to notice is that when you kill off one source of food, the pests don't just disappear. They're going to go find something else and go eat that. So I thought that was fascinating. He said those weeds are actually his friend. So on the next day, they were very sweet. They brought me up to the Alps to see the mountains, which was really great. And this is how the buildings look around there. They're just adorable. So that's pretty much the, I think that's all I have to show. Yeah, those are the Alps. So that's pretty much the images that I have right now of the demonstration. Get back to here's the flyer that they had, and you know, all of the different speakers. It was really fantastic. And here's the movies that Bertram gave me that I'm going to try to show. I think this one can only be shown in Computer Scientist Under Attack. If you have not seen it, please do. And he also has a movie called The Farmer and His Prince, because the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, is very much for sustainability and cultivating the land. So I highly suggest those. And you know, I just want to say we're going to wrap up now. I have to go. But hi, Zoe.
Hi, guys.
From
Sorry
Pennsylvania. That's okay. I'm going to let you guys keep chatting if you... Oh, no, I have to stop the broadcast, don't I? But you guys can keep chatting without me. I won't close it, okay? So you just close it off when you want to. I'll just stop the broadcast. But so you can chat amongst yourselves. But I want to say that this was significant in Europe because the Europeans that are keeping GMOs out, I see them actually as leaders of the free world because they are being leaders for everyone's freedom. The freedom to choose not to eat GMOs, the freedom to choose to live in a country that's not contaminated by GMOs, the freedom to, you know, be able to buy food that's not contaminated with GMOs and poisons. So, you know, the pro-GMO people are telling Europe that they are going to be a museum, that they're going to fall behind in technology, that they're going to hurt themselves. But when I went there, and from the photos that I just showed you, I hope you saw, they have a beautiful, pristine country with amazing food that anyone can eat and feel good and frankly not get obese, unlike America. And there is no reason for them to change anything. There is no reason for them to import a single GMO, to grow a single GMO. They just need to keep them out of there and to protect their children and to keep their country healthy. So I really applaud the GMO, the activists, the European activists, and I acknowledged all of them for all of us. I told them all about our health, the health issues that our children are having, and I just had droves of people coming up to me saying how grateful they are to our moms for sharing their testimonials. So thank you, everyone, for sharing your testimonials and for being a part of Moms Across America, for supporting Moms Across America, because it's not just about the moms in America. It's about the moms all around the world and the children all around the world and the dads and the students and the families and everything that you do to support getting the word out there makes a huge difference around the world. And I really do believe that being there and sharing your testimonials and all of the data that we have made a huge difference. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry I have to go, but I'm going to stop the broadcast. And thank you, everyone, for listening and for being with us. And you ladies are going to keep chatting amongst yourselves and fill me in later, okay? Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.